2 minutes to go, 2 minutes.
Hey guys.
Pit exit's clear.
Good morning.
The track temperature's rising. It's now 47 Celsius.
Welcome back, George. And Uwe on a Wednesday, yeah, it's a Wednesday. Geez, I don't know if I've ever seen you on a Wednesday.
Incident in Redman Corner. It looks like it's Winnell. All clear on pit exit. Okay, Glenn, we've got 2 laps to get the job done, mate. The track temperature's rising. It's now 45 Celsius.
I am tiptoeing around this track. It is so slick.
P2, you've only got enough fuel for this lap.
I'm going to spend the first half of this race, hopefully, if I stay in one piece, learning the track.
P4. The track temperature is increasing. It's now 47 Celsius.
All right, how are we doing? 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in qualifying. Good evening, Dad. We are in Okayama, Japan. I've been having much practice. I did a little bit of monkeying around with some different setups before the race session. Didn't really settle on one, but I went back to the one that I had the most laps on. So it may not be fastest, but hopefully it'll be the most comfortable and most controllable. Let's see.
7 gallons enough? Perfect, Uwe. That's what I'm using.
12 drivers. I am car number 7.
Thank you.
And so far I've qualified 4th. Let's see if that holds. I'm a full...
Track temps increasing. It's now 48 Celsius.
7/10 off of John, who's got Togo by 2/100ths. 3/100ths. And I'm 2/10 behind Gary. And surprisingly, based on the practice session, ahead of Uwe.
That's the end of the session. P4.
George Thorne back. We haven't seen him for a while. So the track temperature is pretty high also, although it's cooler than the practice session was, 116 degrees Fahrenheit, and we've got extensive usage. So it's definitely going to be slippy. Hopefully not make any major mistakes before the tires warm up. And it's been a few weeks since I raced or really practiced or streamed, so hopefully all the software and audio and everything else is working right. Minute 10 left if gridding goes full time. Looks like we're waiting on Togo to join. John's up there in the red helmet. Gary's in the purple. Togo will be in the red and white car, likely just ahead of me. Uwe off to my left, just in the corner of my virtual mirror, and Michael Grissinger right behind me.
P4, 22 laps. The track temp is 46. The air temp is 27 Celsius.
I have not practiced starts.
Go, nail it.
left. Clear left. On your left. Clear left.
That is a dodgy exit. Just can never really get any power down. This one's not easy either. Screwed that one up.
There's an incident in Williams. It looks like it's Jacobson. P4.
That sucks. It looks like Uwe had an issue behind me, but it does release the pressure for me a little bit. He was definitely going to drive me down if I made any mistakes.
The gap to you ahead is increasing. It's now 2.0 seconds.
Well, looks like I'm losing the folks ahead. And driving away from the gap behind. So maybe that'll take the pressure off just enough. I can drive comfortably and keep it on the track. See what comes. Kind of wish I could keep contact with Gary and the guys ahead so I could see the lines they're driving and learn a little bit more. Damn. They're definitely just plain driving away.
It's now 51 Celsius.
A little bit too hot into that one. Ah, but ooh, that was close. Not sure what caused that, but I was definitely on the gas pedal a little bit too much, I'm guessing. And I was probably trying to talk. Always a mistake.
It's now 3.6 seconds. The leader, Hasid, is pitting. Olsen is now
Oh no. Somebody forgot to change the race fuel.
1.1 seconds. Well done, Glenn. You're looking really good. Come on, keep your focus. P3.
Gogo must have forgot to change to the race fuel. That sucks. We've all done it. He'll probably still come out and beat me. He is that fast.
The gap to Hugh ahead is increasing. It's now 4.4.
Not having driven many laps, I don't have any telemetry or laps to analyze, so I don't really have any idea where I'm losing time to Gary and John. So it's kind of a do the best I can, learn what I can from the race on my own, and keep it pointing and forward.
The track temperature is increasing. It's now 52 Celsius.
That's a deceptively hard corner to get right, especially when the track is this slippery. Messed up that entry. Forgot to look. I don't even know how many laps the race is. Eventually crew chief will give me an update at halfway or something like that. And if I get a few seconds of respite, I can look down. But it's not important right now. Five seconds. It's only lap 6 of 22. I did grab a glance when I looked down at the timing.
The gap to Hugh in front is now 5.5 seconds.
Most important corner on the track, and I keep missing the apex.
The gap to you ahead is now 6.0.
I think the entry to that corner is one place I'm probably losing traffic or losing time. Did notice 3 cars ahead of me kind of taking a wider entry. The couple laps that I was close enough to be able to see.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 51 Celsius.
Down to 51 Celsius. Still a molten track. I think this is southern Japan. I'm not really sure exactly where in Japan we are. It's not uncommon that it's hot here. That was better. 7 seconds. See you, Gary. Psychologically, it's probably a good thing that he's out of my view around the corners. I can forget about him, just drive my race.
The gap to you ahead is increasing. It's now 7.2 seconds. The track temperature is falling. It's now 49 Celsius.
Ooh, almost lost that one off the outside. That was close. At least the race will give me some telemetry to compare to afterwards to see where I can improve.
P3. The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 48 Celsius. Okay, Glenn, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
I like to be able to keep my foot in the throttle all the way through this little curvy part.
Ahead is now 8.4.
Don't have the confidence to do it yet. Didn't get a chance to really practice enough. Get the tires warmed up so that I could practice through there. I'm sure it's possible. There's a better lap. 8.5 seconds from Gary, 11 seconds in front. Or I should say, I am 11 seconds in front of my gap. closer to keeping it at throttle on the floor through there, but as you saw, I messed up my entry. Don't do that again.
The gap to you ahead is increasing. It's now 9.6 seconds.
Instead, Glenn, just do it better.
The track temperature is decreasing. It's now 47 Celsius.
Not sure about the entry to that corner, but the exit was better.
Okay, Glenn, halfway home. We've got plenty of fuel.
Soft or on the brakes on that entry. That was a nice corner. Always shows in the delta when it just clicks.
Incident in Redman Corner. It looks like Winnell.
Am I getting some stutter? Is that what's going on?
The track temperature is decreasing. It's now 46 Celsius. The gap to you ahead is now 10 seconds.
Gary's keeping it within about a second or two of John. Good to see somebody pressuring John. He's been so fast for so long and always makes these midweek races. Sometimes he just drives away from us.
There's an incident in the hairpin.
Almost freaked out on the brake there. I thought for sure I was going to put a tire off on the grass. I didn't want to be braking at the same time. So I delayed my braking and had him catch it afterwards.
There's an incident in first corner. We think it might be you.
What was I saying about Gary pressuring John? Just as I'm talking about him, he has some kind of incident, slows down a little bit.
Captain Jacobson behind is now 12 seconds.
We call it the commentator's curse when somebody crashes right after the commentator talks about him on the broadcast. Didn't think it worked the same way for another driver. I didn't do it on purpose, Gary.
seconds.
Almost overcooked that exit.
The track temperature's rising. It's now 47 Celsius.
I think that's a better overall line through that corner than I've been driving.
The track temperature's rising. It's now 48 Celsius. The gap to you ahead is now 8.3.
Good news for Gary, bad news for me is it looks like his excursion was just an off and didn't damage him at all. He's continuing to drive away from me again. I'm sweating already. I forgot to turn off the pellet stove before I started again. It was plenty warm in here. I wish I'd turn it off now. That was just about the limit on that one.
The track temp's increasing. It's now 49 Celsius.
That was a lot closer to 100% throttle through there. And it shows. That was a little dicey. Hard to see it from the outside, but I was really uncomfortable breaking into that one. Ooh, that was close. Never put a tire off under braking.
to Hugh. Ahead is now 9.0 seconds.
So Gary's going to continue driving away from me in front. Good news is, at least for the last couple laps, I've been holding off Uwe behind.
Improving. This is exactly what we need.
He's come down from about 11 to 10.
The track temperature is increasing. It's now 51 Celsius.
It looks like he's been pretty stable there. I hope I can continue to hold that gap. Somehow last lap I found about 3/10 through this section here. I don't know where or how. Like if I could find that and capture it and repeat it. I'm not sure what that lap was, but I should go back and look at that in the telemetry. Alright, so this is lap 18, so that middle section there was lap 17.
The gap to Hugh ahead is now 9.5 seconds.
There is sweat rolling down my cheek. I don't know whether you can see it on the stream camera, but it's on that left cheek that's facing the camera.
The track temp's increasing. It's now 52 Celsius.
Another nice midfield section. I don't know why I think of that as the infield there, but that twisty bit in the middle. Apex a little too early, had to wait to get on the throttle that time.
Alright Glenn, you're reeling Hugh in. The gap is now 9.1 seconds.
Thanks for being optimistic, Jim. 9.1 down from 9.5. Technically reeling him in, but I'm not sure that that really is a trend I can count on. Missed it big time that time. Wanted to get a little bit more throttle down. Delayed the brake. Way too late.
Ahead is increasing. It's now 9.7. 2 laps left. Come on, you're looking good for a podium.
Hold it together, Glenn.
Jacobson is getting closer. The gap's come down to 9.4 seconds.
Not missing that corner again. Perfect.
Last lap, looking good for a podium. The gap to Jacobson behind is increasing. It's now 9.6. You've got 1 gallon left.
That was a nice entry. Kind of smooth slide in there. Okay, I'm happy with that.
Nice one, Glenn. Great drive. That's a podium.
All right. and I think it was clean too. I had I'm not sure it'll count, it probably will, but I had a slight runoff. I had a 1x after I finished qualifying, so I guess technically that would ding me just a little bit as far as safety rating, but all in all, clean. A little boring. I guess the bad news about qualifying kind of right on my pace, and I think Uwe is probably the exception to that. I think he would have likely been able to get me or at least pressure me the entire race if he hadn't had an oopsie somewhere. But with that one exception, the downside to qualifying exactly where your pace is appropriate is that, as you saw, I just saw the gap open up consistently the entire race on both ahead and behind me. John's like a robot, makes very few mistakes.
Sorry, Toby. I say, my spotter said clear. I'm sorry.
Gary had one little hiccup, it sounds like, but only cost him a few seconds and doesn't appear to be any damage, so he just moved back in the gap a little bit. No biggie. Still held on to his second place. I guess Uwe came fourth, and then Michael Brissinger finished out the top 5. So, results-wise, I'm happy with that. Not exactly unhappy that that was a pretty boring race from a competition standpoint.
Hey, Frenchie.
Can't type in my gloves. I've definitely learned that. Whew. And let's bail out and get out of this headset. How about now? All right, so that was annoying. For some reason, at first, my headset wouldn't disconnect from my phone, and then for whatever reason, I had to reach over. I'm glad it was within arm's reach. I had to reach over and reset the wireless dongle for the headset, and now we're good. All right, so let's take a look at results. Uh, 0.12 of safety rating. I think it's going to show me 0 for the race, and probably, does it show me qualifying? And it does show 1 incident in qualifying. That's annoying. But qualifying and practice, I think, in the official sessions count for like a third of a regular incident, something like that. I think the idea being that they wanted safety rating to count more when you're actually in a session with other drivers, which makes sense. All right, and then a big jump in driver rating, a full 62 points. Good, and then championship points for the series, the official series standing was 114. That's a decent haul for me. Came in third overall, 10 seconds behind. Yeah, 10 seconds behind Gary, who was 10 seconds behind John. John led the whole way, just drove away. Good job, John. Good job, Gary. Uwe, I'm not sure what happened. I'll have to go back and take a look at the replay, but I'm sure that if he hadn't had that issue, he would have either been pressuring me the entire race and probably forcing a mistake, or just find an opportunity to pass, and he would have taken that last step on the podium. Sorry about that, Uwe. Good to see you. I know it's been a few weeks since I even saw you in practice, let alone a race. So I'm glad you made it to a Wednesday night. What is it? 7:30 Eastern here. So what is it, like 10:30 a.m. where you are tomorrow? Then Michael Grissinger, Pedro, Richard, David French, who I think used to run the series a long time ago. Togo, also kind of have to go back and take a look and see what happened there. Minute and 24. I don't know how long fueling takes. So if my guess is right that he forgot to change to the race setup, and of course, a lap or two in, realized that he was short of fuel, went in and fueled. I'm guessing, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds maybe of fuel to fill up. I don't think it'd be a full minute 24, so maybe there was some other issue there that he and Richard were talking about. Overall time, 7/10 off of Gary and John, and they were both 4 or 5/10 off of Togo. Togo is just amazing. He's just a really, really competent, fast driver. George Thorne, we haven't seen for a while, and then Caleb and Jason are new names I don't recognize. Okay, I don't think there's anything else interesting to look at. I think my lap times are pretty consistent. Does this new interface show the lap times? I don't think it does it? Share results? No. But what I could do is take a look at the old interface. So as I remember now, my driver video is over here on the bottom right-hand side, so you won't be able to see anything near the bottom right. So I'll just scroll up a little bit. So the same results. This is just kind of the old iRacing user interface. It still does a lot of things. They're phasing it out, but it's still there. What I was curious about was my laps. $31.3, $31.6. Not sure what happened there. $32.9, $31.4, $31.3, $31.6. All right, so as I scroll down through here, one of the things I've really been trying to work on is some consistency. Easy for me to say. And the good news is this looks pretty consistent. There's a big 7/10 gap there. But mid to low 31s pretty consistently. My fastest lap, kind of almost a flat 131. And what did I say? John and Gary were running. John's fastest lap was a 130.3. So Gary's was just 3/100ths slower than that. So, and I'm guessing if we look at John's laps, 30.8, 30.4, 30.6, 30.6, 30.6, 30.6, 30.7, 7, 4, 7, 4, 6, 6, 6. He's just amazing. I wish I had that kind of consistency. Maybe I will eventually. That'd be nice. Nice job, John. And then I'm guessing the same for Gary with a couple of exceptions. Again, I have to go back and take a look at the replay to see actually what happened when he went off. I'm guessing he just kind of had it off, maybe overran turn one. 30.8, 30.8, 30.9, 0.7, 0.8, 0.6, 0.9. Yeah, just really, really nice consistency. It looks like lap 14 is where he had his little off. But it really only cost him, I think, maybe 4.5 or 5 seconds. So not too bad at all. He was never really in any danger from me, no doubt. Okay, and I'm going to guess if I look at the one of these, not this one, this one's the actual graph. Yeah, whatever happened to Togo happened on lap 3 or whatever that is, and he dropped all the way to the back, fueled. Then maybe this is where he crossed with Pedro. Yeah, it's hard to tell. So Pedro started in 7th, made it all the way up to 4th before falling off. But we all got promoted when Togo pitted. But yeah, a lot of after the what is that lap 3? After lap 3, just a lot of straight lines up here. 1, 2, 3. Who finished 4th? It would have been Uwe. Yeah, whatever he did on lap 4, and then he consistently climbed back up pretty quickly. He is always fast. Yep. Okay. Well, all in all, pretty boring race, but not too bad for my first time back in a couple weeks and without any practice and kind of on a slippery track without being able to make a decision on the setup right before the race. Worked out okay. All right. Thanks for watching, Dad. Thinking about the rest of the week, probably won't have much time to race. Maybe I'll get some free time, but then hopefully next race will be 7:30 p.m. on Friday. Thanks a lot. I'll see you there.